my beautiful soul tribe. Thank you so much for joining today's reading session. Today, we're going to do your monthly reading for April. This is reading for all the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. If you're sun, moon, and rising in one of these three signs, then this could be the reading for you. At the very beginning of the reading session, I have provided you with two different options. You can choose whichever you feel resonated with. Pile number one is a white bouquet, and pile number two is a black and gold bouquet. Now, with all that being said, let's get started with a pile number one. Hello, pile number one. This is your reading. You have chosen the white bouquet. First of all, we're going to pull one card from the major arcana. We're going to set the tone for the months of April for you, right? Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Thank you so much, universe. The Wheel of Fortune, beautiful energy. This energy has a lot to do with letting the universe bring you what you need. The Wheel of Fortune is a very fortunate card because it's associated with Jupiter, luck, abundance, right? Things that is beyond our control, but it will surprise you in a positive way. I think this month probably you will have less control over life, but more sort of like the universe will complete certain things on behalf of you, all right? So very good, okay? We're going to pull 4 cards from Oracle of the Celestial Deities, and let's see how these energies are working with the Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, universe. Sometimes, when I'm seeing this card, I see it's almost like a pleasant surprise to you, if you know what I mean, okay? Now, first of all, your own energy, Uranus, and this is exactly what I mean. Uranus with the Wheel of Fortune is very much about surprise, okay? Things that is not what you planned, but it works out very beautifully, right? And let's have a look at your communication and your interaction with the people around you. Ceres, very nice, very pleasant, okay? Very good, very nurturing and loving. What is your work and career? Persephone, all right. And what is your love and relationship? Saturn. So this month, I do feel like certain problems will be resolved for you, my beautiful pile number one, okay? First of all, earlier, like what I said, right? Uranus and the Wheel of Fortune sitting together as a combination is about things, the sudden changes, right? The so-called chaotic energy happening, but it's gonna work in your favor. There could be a lot of things that is a little bit up in the air for you. Maybe you are waiting for a result. Maybe you're waiting for someone to get back to you, right, about something. Maybe you're waiting for an email, waiting for some kind of reply. But a lot of things are undecided, right? So you are feeling a little bit up in the air. The Wheel of Fortune tells you that everything has its own timing, right? So trust the divine timing. Then you got Ceres sitting in the communication and your interaction. This energy tells you don't rush, right? Ceres is a very peaceful, very nice, and very loving energy. So this tells you that when you're communicating with the people around you, remember, don't lose your temper, right? Don't lose your, let your impatience, right, make you feel agitated or aggressive, right? Things like that. Again, Wheel of Fortune is about trusting the universe and trusting the natural flow of it. And with your work, you got Persephone, right? And this is what I mean by there's certain things maybe you're waiting for. You're waiting for a breakthrough. You're waiting for something to work out, but maybe it's not your fault, but other people's convenience or other people's timing. And that is why you are affected. Again, I'm going to use that example. This could be about maybe you are working with someone and you're waiting for them to finish their part of the project, right? So that you can submit everything to your boss, but they are not done yet, right? Even though you have done your part. So this Persephone energy is usually telling you that don't overly blaming yourself because it's not your fault. Now, what is very interesting is that you got Persephone sitting together with Ceres. This is the mother and daughter energy, and they're very self-protective, mutually protective, right? So Ceres is in your communication and your interaction with other people. Persephone is actually your work. So again, this tells you that a calm, nurturing, and loving and mature communication will be able to help you alleviate this energy of anxiety or worry that you have in your work. Now, with Saturn in love and relationship, this could be about something that is a little bit stagnant, okay? Now, if you're single, probably you're not really seeing anyone at this moment. Probably in the months of April, you might be just feeling a little bit like and nothing is happening, right? I'm also not really feeling like go on dates or, meeting new people or socializing. If you are with someone, Saturn could also be just talking about the mundane daily operation that you're going through, maybe in a marriage or in a long-term relationship. Sometimes Saturn does show a cleansing energy. So for a small amount of you guys, maybe you're going through a separation, or maybe at least you might be sort of like maybe considering in your mind whether you should cleanse your relationship a little bit. Now, this could be about maybe ending a relationship, leaving someone, or this could at least about maybe making up your mind about if someone is not for you or someone is wasting your time and energy. Now, we're going to pull extra 3 cards from Lenormand, okay? Let's get a little bit more details. Thank you, universe. Okay, very good. For Ceres, your interaction with other people, okay? The star, beautiful. Now, this energy with the Ceres energy is very much like telling you to calm yourself down, right? And keep being hopeful, keep believing, and keep trusting that you are being guided, okay? Even though certain things are delayed and slow. With your work, you got Persephone, and then we have got the moon, okay? The moon energy is actually a good thing because the moon usually talking about your intuition, right? Your feelings, right? Managing your feelings. In work, sometimes the moon is also talking about your good public reputation. Now, especially when this card is with a star. Moon and star sitting together usually is talking about something related to nighttime. So I feel like maybe for some of you guys, whatever things that you are kind of like waiting for, where you're kind of like, when's it going to happen? It's going to happen around nighttime, right? Maybe the next morning when you wake up, you will receive a message, will receive a, what do you call that? A message or some kind of email, right? And it tells you, okay, now it's being resolved. All right, very good. With love and relationship, we have got the bear. Okay. Now, the bear energy has a lot to do with power struggle and being domineering. Okay. Now, if you are dealing with a partner who is kind of like overpowering you, or maybe you are overpowering someone in a relationship, this energy tells you to bring the sense of love and softness into it. Try not to be too overly controlling, or you feel like, oh, it must be this way, right? Because the bear energy sometimes can be a little bit overly well, protective, right? Or kind of like overly controlling, that kind of energy. But because you got the moon and star next to it, I don't think this bear energy has anything negative in terms of its intention. So just know that to give you and your partner compassion and use your understanding, right, for each other's happiness. Very good. Okay. Now for pile number 1, we're gonna pull 1 card, okay, as your overall guidance, right, from Oracle of the Mythic Heroes. Okay, thank you, universe. Ooh, Ariadne Curiosity. Okay, this card has a lot to do with um, 2 things. Okay, first of all, this card is encouraging you to communicate in a curious and in a non-judgmental way. So remember earlier series, sitting in your communication and your interaction with other people, right? With a star there, this tells you to continue to build faith, right? But also at the same time, if you need to confirm something, ask questions rather than criticizing. Okay. Now, the other thing about Ariadne is also interesting. Ariadne in Greek mythology thought she was going to marry Theseus, the king of Athens, but eventually Theseus abandoned her, and she was, she was really desperate and sad. Um, Dionysus, the god of wine, right, discovered her and fell in love with her. So this Ariadne energy has a lot to do with the thing about maybe what you really want, you might lose it, but there's something much better waiting for you at a later stage. And this is exactly what Wheel of Fortune means. You come down and you will go up again, if you know what I mean. Sometimes universe works in a very, very funny way that it's beyond our understanding. So this month, at a very high level, I really want you to just trust that everything is working eventually for your good, okay? Working for your advantage. Thank you so much, my beautiful pile number 1. And this is your reading. If you enjoyed, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it. I'll see you very soon in the next reading session. Bye. Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. Thank you so much for joining this reading session. You have chosen pile number 2, the black and gold bouquet. All right. Now, first of all, we're going to pull one card for you. This is for air signs, okay? Libra and Aquarius and Gemini. All right. Sun and rising. First of all, we're going to set the tone for the months of April for you. All right. Thank you, universe. And the card is Judgment. Okay. Judgment, this card is a very complicated energy because it has a lot of different layers of meanings. But the most basic thing about judgment is transformation, change. This card has a lot to do with sort of like you end the previous cycle, right? And you come back alive in your own resurrection, if you know what I mean. This energy has a lot to do with the change. Has a lot to do with the transformation, has a lot to do with one more try, okay? One more try in the new cycle. Sometimes this judgment card also has a lot to do with your past, okay? Something related to maybe what memories you carry from the past cycle, or whatever things in the past that could affect, right, this month, in the month of April for you. Now, I'm going to pull a little bit more cards to get more information, okay, from Oracle of the Celestial Deities. Now, first of all, we're going to pull one card from, for you, what is your energy? Thank you, universe, right? Well, the pile number 2, okay? Arrows, beautiful energy, okay? For your communication and your interaction, Jason. With your work and career, the moon, beautiful, okay? And for love and relationship, we got Persephone. Okay, good. Pile number 2, Eros' energy has a lot to do with you needing to be with people, okay? Eros is a very fun, playful energy. For some of you guys, this could be a very good month for you to socialize, meeting friends, seeing new people, right? And socialize, going out and have a little bit fun. In a good way, Eros usually tells you try not to take life too seriously because this is a god that carries a lot of playfulness, playful energy in you. I think for a lot of you guys, if you have been very burdened in life, specifically for those of you guys burdened by, work pressure, whatever expectations, right, that you think are pressuring you, this card tells you that, well, it's time to be lighthearted and not care so much about what other people want from you, okay? Eros' card also is a little bit afraid of loneliness. So I think for a lot of you guys this month, try to avoid, being a hermit, right? See your friends, go out for a drink, right? Do some fun things, maybe even travel. Specifically, you got Jason sitting in your communication and your interaction with other people. Has a lot to do with maybe seeing people, when you're traveling, right? Seeing new friends when you're traveling, meeting new people, right? And generally speaking, Eros and Jason as a combination is very nice, and I like it. Now, with your work, you got the moon. The moon is good because first of all, it tells me that you are very good at what you do. You are mastering your skills, right? Your craft in your professional field. But the moon, more importantly, is talking about the sense of hunting and looking. This could be about maybe you're searching for something. For some of you guys, maybe this is just about you looking for new opportunities in your career, or this could be about you targeting, right, something that you really want to do or you really want to have. Right? It could be within your current job or maybe even outside your existing business or company. But either way, the moon is very focused. So now we're seeing the comparison because the contrast, right? The difference. Because the moon is fixed her things on one thing, but Eros is a little bit like, everywhere. So this month, I think that your work will really need you to focus on one thing rather than looking at a million different options in your mind. Think, oh, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. This month, just try to find the middle balance. Okay. For love life, you got Persephone. Persephone energy usually in love tells you to simplify it, right? Try to stay away from complicated people or complicated situations related to your romantic life. Sometimes, if you are already with someone, this card could also be saying that maybe there are certain things you want to do, or maybe you want your partner to do, but there's limitations in there. Okay, it's a little bit like, but they are not delivering that result for you, and that's why you feel like, okay, I just have to compromise or just have to, make do with it. Persephone energy also for single people, okay? This just tells you that to stay away from complicated situations, maybe third party involvement. Maybe this is a very complicated ex, right, from the past. Remember the judgment card earlier is talking, excuse me, talking about your past memories and a lot of things happening from the previous cycle. So I think for Persephone, you got to be careful with that. Okay. Be careful with it being pulled back into your old cycle with an ex, with a similar, draining situation that you used to be in. Okay. Very good. Now we're going to pull 3 extra cards from Lenormand. Okay. For power number 2. And then just get a little bit more message. Very good. Okay. Pile number 2. First card, your communication and your interaction with the people around you. You got a child. Okay, very interesting. Now, for some people, they literally this month you could be, talking to a child, right? Maybe a nephew, a niece, or maybe your own children, things like that. Now, however, usually child card represents something youthful. Okay, so it doesn't mean that it has to be a child. I do feel like maybe this month you will have a lot of opportunities to connect with young people. Okay, maybe people who are younger than you or they're in a different generation, things like that. But the energy looks very pure and very light-hearted, so I like this energy. Okay, now with your work under the moon, we have the lily. Okay, beautiful. The lily card usually representing peace. Okay, the peace and the wisdom. Okay, and something that is very comforting. And with the moon energy, I like it. And the moon is talking about you being very like crafty, like very good at what you do, knowledgeable, and you are versed in your field. And lily is that maturity, that wisdom coming out of that, right? So I think that this year, not this year, sorry, this month, in the month of April, you're really doing a great job. And you're also able to showcase that talent, right? And that expertise, right, in whatever you do. And you will be able to almost like that feel good about who you are. And people will also show you the respect that you want. Now, with love, Persephone, and we have got ooh, crossroad, interesting. The crossroad usually is talking about some of the decision you need to make. Okay, either maybe you want to do this or you want to do that, whether you want to talk to this person or, and also to be honest, with Persephone and crossroad, this could also be about again, maybe you're dealing with 2 different people at the same time. You are maybe seeing 2 guys or seeing 2 girls, right? And you're still trying to make up your mind which one you want. Or this could be about someone from the past is contacting you, but you're trying to build a new relationship and you're wondering whether you should go for the new person or go back to the old person. It's a little bit like that, right? However, I think that this month, one of the important things, because you got arrows, I don't think this month is about making that decision. I think this month is more about having fun. It's more about, being happy and just sort of like, okay, I'm not gonna, force myself, right? Pressure myself too much. I will see how things are naturally flowing, right? And slowly you will actually hear the so-called judgment, right? The angel blowing his trumpet from the sky. You will know what is good for you and what is not. Okay, so I think this month it's not really about okay you have to make a decision, but it's more about yeah, it's about experience rather than the result. Okay, very good. Now we're gonna pull one last card from Oracle of the Mythic Heroes. All right, let's see what's the overall guidance for pile number 2. Okay, thank you, universe. Right, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. April, second pile. Thank you, universe. I just said that. You don't need to make decisions, right? Indecision. This card, oh, it's crazy. Now, look, part number 2. I think that this month you just need to go with the flow, right? You don't need to kind of like, okay, I gotta give myself an ultimatum, right? By this time, I must figure it out. Otherwise, I'm not happy or whatever that is. Sometimes I think it's important that you can look at different options, right? However, there's an exception here. The exception is that for your work, you must focus on one thing, right? At least you must focus on, okay, it does not mean that you have to really choose one now, but it does mean that in your mind, you have to really be clear what is your priority, and that's what the moon is about. Okay. And with love, yeah, definitely I think that there could be multiple guys or multiple girls that you might be thinking about. Okay. Options for you. So good for you. Thank you so much. My pile number 2. This is a reading for the month of April, right? If you are Sun and Rising in Libra, in Aquarius, and also Gemini, pile number 2. All right. If you enjoy the reading, remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it. I'll see you very soon in the next reading session. Bye.